In this morning's early line, should you jump or wait? If you're trying to time that stock market and the housing market, could now really be the best time for you to get back in, or do maybe some stocks and home values still have a little more room to fall? We have a panel of experts ready to answer those questions. Dierdre Bolton joining us from Bloomberg Television. Amanda Gengler is with Money Magazine. Jennifer Openshaw is president of WeSee.com, a website aimed at educating everyone about investing. And good to have all of you with us this morning for the all-female edition of the early line. Jennifer, I want to start with you. When we look at, there's this new Gallup poll out this week that said 29% of those interviewed say that the economy is actually getting better. Now, that's a huge increase. 3 weeks ago, it was 15%.
Right.
Is it really getting better? I mean, where's the optimism coming from? Do I jump in?
It is a great time to be in the market. The bottom line is there's a great study that shows that when we hit a market, on average, the stock market returns 46% in the first year. Great stocks and companies out there that are on sale. That said, we're not out of the bear market. We're still in a recession, and I think we're going to see some bad profit news coming out from companies in the next couple of months.
So these are all things you need to educate yourself about, and obviously when you're going and you're investing, whether it's real estate or the stock market, you need to be smart about what you're doing. So Jennifer, what are some of the things then, if you do have a little extra money that maybe you want to take advantage of this and jump back in, where should we look?
We always talk to investors as, look, you may be having a heart attack right now because you were diversified. This was not supposed to happen to you. And we are still arguing you need to be diversified rather than going into one asset class full storm ahead. That even though there are a lot of people questioning whether the strategy of diversification still works,
right?
Yes, over the long term it does.
Give me specifics in terms of like what's an industry that I should look into if I have a little bit of money that I could say, okay, jump into this one, and one that I should wait?
Well, I think you want to look at what you have in your portfolio right now, because chances are, because of the downturn, you are now overweighted in some areas and underweighted in other areas.
And I think the key is people need to invest in what they know.
Right.
That is the number one strategy, and a couple things that they should look at are companies that have big brand names, pricing power, and low debt. And couple great examples. Microsoft would be a great example of one, by the way.
Okay, so that's a great one to look into. Dierdre, I know these are the questions you get peppered with every day on the air when people are looking at it. Is this optimism, though, realistic for people at home who may be just getting in for the first time?
Well, the term I'm hearing a lot these days is Cinderella bull market, which is to say that, yes, the markets are rallying, but in other past times of depression, recession, however we want to frame it, for example, 2000 to 2002, you did have these head fakes, if you like, where the market rallied 20%, but was still part of a larger bear market. So I do agree in that it is the time to dip back, but cautiously. And do what you know, as we heard about. Okay, we want to switch to real estate now, which is a little bit of your focus. I know you're sort of good with housing for us, which is exactly what we need because it's so confusing for a lot of people. We keep dipping. Is it a good time to jump in if you want to buy right now, or should you wait when it comes to real estate?
If you're going to be in the home 5 to 7 years, that you definitely, if you're not going to be in the home for more than 5 to 7 years, don't get in, because you need time to ride out some further dips, and you're going to pay a couple $1,000s in closing costs just to purchase the house.
What about refinancing, Dierdre?
Well, one thing I noticed, just to pick up on what Amanda just said, is that the banks, because they've been so squeezed, they are charging the average person the highest fees for refinancing and mortgage origination than they've been doing since about the year 2000. So you can get cheap financing. The money's there. The banks are just going to make you pay more for it.
And you have to work harder for it, too, and really see if it's worth it for you. One last question for you, Jennifer. What if you're trying to sell a home? Do you wait it out right now, or do you take your house off the market?
I don't want you to be in a forced position right now to sell, because homes are still staying on the market for like 8 to 10 months. But a couple of things you could do is obviously think about incentives.
Right.
Think about a lease option to buy, so at least you get somebody in the house. And also think about a corporate strategy. There are companies that relocate people, and they tend to pay higher rents than just an average person.
So some great options for all of us. So there we go. Jump, wait back in. We got some great answers this morning. Jennifer Openshaw, Amanda Gengler, Dierdre Bolton. Great to have you all with us.